Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is Sukkot, and it is Shabbat. Sukkot is my favorite holiday. I love the colors. I love fall, but I also love the symbolism of Sukkot. I love what it means. It means about ingathering, about harvest, and it also is about gratitude. So everything about Sukkot makes me incredibly happy. So I'm happy that we're here to celebrate Shabbat and time together and the beauty of Sukkot. So let's take a minute to just breathe into Shabbat, breathe into Sukkot. Take a deep breath in and release. With this next breath in, we're going to breathe in and then we're going to release the week. When we breathe in, we're going to breathe in the sweetness of Shabbat and the beauty of Sukkot. And to celebrate Sukkot, Deb has prepared for us an opening song on Sukkot.
Yes, so it's a Rick Recht song. It's called Sukkah. And you will recognize the words Sukkot Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shalom is to spread over, asking God to spread over us a shelter of peace. So if you are online, you have words. If you are here in person, you can simply enjoy. But the chorus goes Sukkot Shalom, Sukkah Shalom. So that part's easy.
Beautiful. We turn to light our Shabbat candles. I hope you at home have Shabbat candles to join me in lighting the Shabbat candles. You can find this, I believe, on page 3. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat. And Kiddush on page 4. The heaven and the earth were finished in all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing, and God stopped on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on that day God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim. Oh, don't do that. Microphones and liquid don't mix well. Is your
Let's see if my microphone is on. Yeah. Our opening reading is not found in your prayer book. It is from a new poem that Deb and I both saw online. It is really beautiful. It's called Heart Sukkah, and it is from by Jennifer Rudick Zunikoff. Heart Sukkah. If you don't have a sukkah in your yard this year, build one within your heart. Make sure a wall is open and loved ones, sacred guests, and fresh air are welcome, and you are always willing to see the stars. We turn now to the Baruch Hu, the call for worship. It says to ourselves and to God, we are ready to pray. Please rise in body or in spirit. Page 28.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed.
Mari Varavim is found on page 31. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you guide its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. We turn to the Shema, page 34 and 35. The Shema is our watchword of our faith, as my childhood rabbi used to say. If we had a single dogma, if we could say, let's summarize Judaism, we might say one of these sentences. We sing together.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. We continue Ve'ahavta, turning the page.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavcha hayom al levavecha Veshinantam levanecha vedibarta bam beshivtecha bevetecha uvlechtecha vaderech uvshochbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha vehayu letotafot beinenecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha Leman tizkeru ba'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim le'Elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem.
We turn to page 40. On page 40, you'll find our Song of the Sea. Oh, I don't have my microphone on again. I got to look. There it is.
There it is. One more time for the rest of us.
I know, because I really like to sing, but I don't like everyone else to hear me sing. So I turn my microphone off, and then I forget to turn it back on again. So, Mi Chamocha, we'll try it again, page 40, is our Song of the Sea. It's when the Israelites crossed the Red Sea and celebrated, reminding themselves how great God was to free them from hundreds of years of slavery. We sing together. Hashkivenu is our next prayer. It is perfect that we're singing Hashkivenu tonight because this is our Shabbat. It's called Chol HaMoed, Shabbat Sukkot, which is the intermediate days of Shabbat during Sukkot. And we are celebrating this idea of a Sukkot Shalom, a shelter of peace while we are looking at our temple Sukkot, knowing indoor sukkah, knowing that the outdoor sukkah is right outside our synagogue, right outside our sanctuary, and that indeed the Israelites relied on a shelter of peace as they were journeying through the desert, that God provided them the sukkah, and without that they would not have been safe. And so we have our spiritual sukkah that God provides for us every time we sing Hashkivenu. And so the words for Hashkivenu are on page 42. We are singing a slightly different version, but you can get a sense of the beauty of this prayer, one of our oldest prayers, as we sing together. We give thanks for the gift of Shabbat, the gift of time, the gift of connecting generation to generation. We turn to page 44. We sing Vishamru.
Shabbat,
We turn now to Tefillah or Amidah, depending on what title you like better for the set of prayers. Tefillah means the prayer, the central prayer. Amidah means standing. And we will turn to page 46 to kind of refocus ourselves with that mantra, and then page 48, 50, and 52 with the three main prayers of this section. Page 48 is reminding us of the ancestors, the forefathers and foremothers that came before us. Page 50 is God's greatness, and page 52 the sanctity of this day. And just like it says with the Amidah, we're going to stand up. So please rise in body or in spirit.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agite hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei HaKol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Hozer Hu Moshia Hu Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah, Rav lehoshia. Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim ve'rofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech meimid umechayeh, Umatmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
So similar to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, there's a beautiful prayer called Ya'aleh V'Yavo, which asks God to accept our prayers, to allow our prayers to Ya'aleh, like Aliyah, to go up, and to Yavo, to come. So that's actually like a literal translation, which is not so pretty, but to accept our prayers. And so part of that prayer, it's a much longer prayer, part of that prayer is like a little benediction that I called during Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur that Deb and I really love and found quite beautiful, that we will do and share, which is done at every festival and every high holy day. So we will, and it's an insertion, so we'll do that right now. Zochreinu Adonai Eloheinu bo l'tova. Amen.
Eternal our God, remember us. Amen.
Ufokdenu vo livracha. Amen.
Be mindful of us. Amen.
V'hoshienu vo l'chaim. Amen.
And remember us for a life of goodness and blessing. Amen.
Please be seated. 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 Please become our wonderful custom to share in moments of thankfulness and gratitude. And so for those of you at home, I hope that you'll take a moment in the chat and lift up those moments of joy and gratitude and blessing that have occurred for you this week and share them with the loved ones with whom you are hanging out this Shabbat. And for those of us here in the sanctuary, we will take a moment to do the same as we sing Shalom Rav, which can be found on page 60.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech hador lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech hador lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. B'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael. Bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
The word shalom, we know, means peace, hello, goodbye. It's also connected to the word wholeness. There are so many whom we love who are not whole at this time, who are in need of our comfort, in need of our prayers because they are struggling. Whether they are struggling with physical illness, whether they are struggling with mental illness, emotional struggles, whatever their struggles, we want to lift them up in our prayers at this time. For those at home, we hope that you'll use your chat. Oh, my microphone is wandering, isn't it? With those at home, we hope that you'll use your chat to lift up those whom you love, who are in need of healing at this time, and so that we can all partake as one community. And as my hand passes over the congregation, I hope you'll share loved ones who are in need of healing at this time. We join together in our prayer for healing, page 253.
Mi sheberach avotenu makor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu makor Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
As we take a moment for silent prayer and reflection, I do want to let everyone know that during my Devar Torah, we're going to need paper and pen. So please take a moment to pray silently and then get some paper and pen.
May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer.
So here we are celebrating Sukkot, the Jewish harvest holiday, sometimes known as the holiday of the Huts, Huts, a week-long celebration that starts exactly 5 days after Yom Kippur. Rabbinic tradition tells us that a sukkah, or a temporary structure, a sukkah is a temporary structure, that it needs to have at least 3 sides and a roof. This one does not, but outside ours does. A roof that has thatch or loose branches so that we can see the stars. It represents the dwelling the Israelites lived in theory, during the 40 years of wandering in the desert. There are so many times that we feel like we're wandering in the desert not knowing what comes next. And yet on Sukkot, we're commanded to find joy, to find holiness, despite what uncertainty we face. This year during Sukkot, many of us will not have an opportunity to sit in a sukkah, but that doesn't mean that we can't celebrate the holiday, even if you are sitting in a sukkah, and use these beautiful teachings of Sukkot to strengthen ourselves, to think about who and where we are. So on Sukkot, we use the lulav and the etrog, the 4 species. So we use the palm, the willow, and the myrtle together with the etrog. And these beautiful species represent the harvest. They also represent something else, something that we've all probably heard before, from Sefer HaChinuch, which is the book of education. Each 4 relate to a particular body part that we use to connect with a value. So I want you to get your piece of paper, or those of you in the sanctuary have an index card, and we're going to relate each body part, and we're going to write something down. In Jewish tradition, the etrog, this is the etrog, relates to understanding and compassion. The etrog is our heart. So I want you to think a moment when you have acted compassionately this year. Think of one thing or the many things that you have used your heart, and write it down. The palm, this is the palm in the middle, symbolizes our backbones, our strength, our uprightness, that which keeps us strong and walking. Take a moment to reflect on those times when we have had to be steadfast and upright, when we have had to be risen up. When have you risen to the challenge? When have you been steadfast? Take a moment and write that down. The myrtle corresponds to the eyes. They even kind of look like an eye shape. They correspond to the eyes, to seeing. Take a moment to reflect, to look inward. What is something that you have seen, that you have been enlightened to, that you see anew, that you have learned? What have you learned and see anew this year? We say in Hebrew, acharon, acharon chaviv, last, last, but most beloved, because nobody ever wants to be last. The willow even looks like it represents lips, right? Because it even looks a little bit like lips. Take a moment to set your own intention. Write down a prayer, a wish, a hope for yourself for the coming months or for the world. Now I want you to take a look at that piece of paper. You have created your own lulav and etrog. You have created a heart like the etrog, a spine like the palm, mouth like the myrtle, and eyes like the willow. So you might not have a lulav and etrog at home, but you have taken the essence of it and brought it home with you. Chag Sameach.
Every breath, each life, each spark, every light that emerges from every dark, this body, this voice, this energy. I just opened my eyes, it was granted to me. Given this space, given this time, given to all, uniquely mine. Every first and every last, all of the future, the present, and even the past. I am a wave, a rise and a fall, a singular drop in the ocean, connected to all. Given this space, given this time, given to all, uniquely mine. Given this space, given this time, given to all, uniquely mine. There is a love song of taking and giving, a singing and dancing in rhythm with all that is living. It's breathing out and breathing in, a life that is taken and granted again and again. Given this space, given this time, given to all, uniquely mine. Given this space, given this time, given to all, uniquely mine. Ya da da da, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da.
Beautiful. We continue with Aleinu, which can be found on page 283 and then 287. Please rise in body or in spirit. Let us adore the ever-living God and render praise unto you, who spreads out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are our God, there is none else.
V'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu Bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad. Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo echad.
You with our time of memory. Our memorial meditation is not found in your prayer book. It is an excerpt from the poem In Blackwater Woods by one of my favorite poets, Mary Oliver. To live in this world, you must be able to do three things: to love what is mortal, to hold it against your bones, knowing your own life depends on it, and when the time comes to let it go, to let it go. On this Shabbat, our thoughts are with the family of Jane Miller. And we remember in Shloshim, the first month since their death, Dawn Barron. And we mark the yahrzeits, the anniversaries of their death that fall on this Shabbat. Rose Z. Barnard, Nathan Bluffstone, Robert L. Cole, Dorothy B. Dietz, Henrietta Fine, Marcus S. First, Augusta Greenwald, Matthew Hecht, Ruth Fader Klein, Bernard Lieberman, Julius Leffler, Albert S. Markowitz, Jean Fuldauer Mitchell, Patricia Dietz Morris, Marie Hallie Newman, Asna Newmark, Harry H. Rose, Elaine Chagrin, Edward Simon, Jack P. Stoddard, Alfred Sugar, Esther Sugar, George S. Traub, Eva Wolkoff, Eli Zweig. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as together we turn to page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, bi'alma divra chirute v'amlich malchute, b'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chaye techol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru, amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevorach leolam almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yit hadar, v'yit taleh, v'yit halal, shemei d'kudusha berechu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, huya asei shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and give comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say together, amen. Before our closing song, just a couple of quick announcements. There is still time if you'd like Rabbi Shauna and I to come to your sukkah on tomorrow. Just send us an email. And we will be happy to come. And if you want us to bring Torah to your house on Sunday, also send us an email. On Monday night, it is Simchat Torah. It is the official end of the High Holy Days. It is really, Sukkot and Simchat Torah are the best. So hopefully you'll come for Simchat Torah Monday night. Hopefully the weather will be great and we will be outside. We have 16 Torah readers from our congregation. So come and watch that phenomenal experience. Yes, please. I said please email. I think I said that, but just let's reiterate that. Please email myself or Rabbi Shauna if you'd like us to come and visit you this weekend, because Charlotte doesn't, we'd like to give her some time off.
Yeah,
She gets to go home here and there. And we have a really fun closing song.
Yeah, so
you can sit down. I'm sorry.
since,
Those of you,
since we are still celebrating Sukkot, we thought it would be fun to do, and you know how much I love parodies. And so I found this wonderful parody written by Julie Silver, who is a contemporary Jewish musician who gives us a lot of our great music, but a little tongue-in-cheek humor here. I hope that you will enjoy. If you are here, I completely spaced out making you a handout. So I think you can join in on the chorus, though. It's pretty easy. You just have to remember under the sukkah. Okay, that's the important line that you know. So here we go. Oh, when the month of Tishrei comes, you know it's true. And the autumn sun beats down and shines upon you. Under the sukkah, just wait for me, yeah. And we'll spend Sukkot together, that's where we'll be. Here we go, under the sukkah. Under the sukkah, shake the lulav. Under the sukkah, shake it with the etrog. Under the sukkah, we'll celebrate. Under the sukkah, well, don't those veggies look great under the sukkah? Sukkah. Can you see the gourds of yellow, gold, and red? Oh, how I love to see the cranberries above your head. Under the sukkah, just wait for me, yeah. And we'll spend Sukkot together, that's where we'll be. Under the sukkah, shake the lulav. Under the sukkah, shake it with the etrog. Under the sukkah, we'll celebrate. Under the sukkah, well, don't those veggies look great under the sukkah? Sukkah. Now they say the Jews were wandering in deserts dry, but through the roof of their flimsy booth they saw the stars in the sky. Under the sukkah, just wait for me, yeah. And we'll spend Sukkot together, that's where we'll be. You know what's coming. Under the sukkah, shake the lulav. Under the sukkah, shake it with the etrog. Under the sukkah, we'll celebrate. Under the sukkah, those veggies look great under the sukkah. Sukkah.
It is time for our benediction now that we are under the sukkah.
Yes.
Please rise in body or in spirit for our benediction, and then we will say a motzi together.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May the light of God's presence shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha. Me'asem lecha shalom, ve'yasem lecha shalom.
May God lift up each one of us, and may God bring us shalom, peace, and wholeness. Amen. Shabbat
Amen.
shalom. Chag
Shabbat
sameach.
shalom. Let's do a quick motzi
Yes, motzi.
before
And
we all
for
go.
those of you in person, we're going to be in the sukkah.
Yes.
That's where you'll
But
find
if
your
you're at
challah.
home, here we go. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'teavon.
Now, Shabbat Shalom and Chag
Shabbat
Sameach.
Shalom. Chag
Thank you,
Sameach.
Deb. And challah will be, for those of us